Malawi has one of Africa's highest rates of deforestation, 2.8% a year. Here, people are being driven to strip forested slopes and reserves to meet the demand for charcoal. It's not only being burnt in the home, but also by industry. To combat this crisis, ProBEC, the Programme for Biomass Energy Conservation, with funds from the German government, has joined forces with Peter Scott from the NGO Aprovecho to design a rocket stove to radically reduce the amount of wood consumed.
Well, we try to address the deforestation and, of course, also the economy of people who are using firewood for cooking, and that is mostly even over 95% of Malawian households. Even those that have got electricity, they cook on firewood or charcoal. We have seen forest reserves in 3 years completely gone, not a single tree standing there. There is an alternative if you use firewood or, how we say, non-tree-based wood fuels, meaning shrubs like pigeon peas or bamboo. You can still cook on them if you have got a good technology that is giving you the energy into the cooking pot that you need.
Using the new rocket stove, the amount of wood needed for cooking can be halved.
What we've got here is a rocket stove, and as you see, there are only a few pieces of firewood in, and these few pieces are enough to cook 40 liters of water easily. And the reason is we have improved the combustion and the heat transfer. And now in between the fire and the outside, we put insulation, and that retains the heat in the fire, meaning the fire itself gets hotter than a normal open fire. And with these higher temperatures, the smoke is burnt, which is a great health impact.
A little bit of smoke, only when starting the fire. But as soon as the fire is, as it is now, as soon as the fire is ready, then no smoke again.
The firewood is resting on this metal shelf, and the air for the combustion is hitting the firewood from the bottom, which is also better for combustion. But the combustion chamber is quite high. And this is for the reason that the hottest spot of the flames is actually above the flames. Above this combustion chamber there's this skirt, which is to shield the pot from wind, and the more important reason is to increase heat transfer into the pot. The fire temperatures can be between 800 and 900 degrees C.
We are getting the expertise in to develop the technology that is convenient for the users here, and then we try to train producers who then do that on a commercial approach.
My business, I deal with metals. I'm doing metal work. So these guys from GDZS came to me one time and asked me if I can be one of the rocket producers. So they brought in somebody called Peter Scott, who taught me everything about rocket. So I started it from there. I'm making household stoves, and we're making institution ones from the same rocket system.
A range of sizes and stove styles are designed to suit different uses.
When using that open place, it was taking roughly an hour to boil something like this pot. But using this stove, it takes only 20 or so minutes. In the first place, for instance, we're using firewood for 1 week. And when we started using this one, the same amount of firewood for 2 weeks. It is a great improvement.
Tea picking provides many locals with jobs and provides meals for the workers. Now, thanks to the rocket stove, the amount of wood being used in the kitchens has been cut dramatically.
We use 90 to 95% less firewood cooking in here than we do cooking outside. We'll have a full kitchen of these things everywhere, I would imagine, by the end of 3 years' time. It's very, very good indeed. We're delighted with it.
So we're building up capacity to create a supply of the technologies, and especially a sustainable supply, which is when you, as the initiator of the process, become redundant. It works on its own, and that is what has happened here.
When I was beginning this, I had about 2-3 people and one machine. Then I increased the machines because of the work of these rockets, and now I'm employing about 27 people.
The benefits of the rocket stove are beginning to be felt throughout the community.
We buy these stoves from Ken Chirewe, and these stoves work very well with our project because we do the feeding of children in primary schools. And the stoves are very effective indeed.
We are feeding
75,000 children every day and at the primary schools every morning using the rocket stoves.
The north of England was home to the first industrial revolution and all the pollution from coal-fuelled industry. The steep industrial decline has had the unintended effect of cleaning up the environment. There's still plenty of coal underground, but if teachers and pupils of this primary school get their way, that's where the coal will stay, underground. Cassop School in County Durham was founded in 1912 when the village was in the grip of a coal mining boom.
The pit was there, we were surrounded by them all. Every village had at least one. I mean, this village had 3 or 4. And you simply accepted that you had massive mountains of waste on your doorstep. The debate over where to put turbines and so on pales into insignificance when you think what an area like this had to put up with to produce energy.
Cassop School is producing energy, but this time it's clean.
The actual generator is in that part that looks like a cannon at the back of it, so it's, you know, the 50 kilowatt generator in there with a brake at the end. This sort of 5 meters per second type wind, any time now it could actually just start and test the wind.
Fortunately, the school has another renewable source of energy powering its heating system, waste wood that would otherwise have gone into landfill. The wood, which must be free from additives, is made into pellets that fuel a high-tech gasifying boiler on the school premises. This provides for all the heating and hot water.
The temperature produced gasifies the wood, and in effect then it's burning sort of wood gas and heats the huge water store here, which is sort of very well insulated.
Despite the clean technologies in the school, there are still days like this where neither wind nor sun can generate enough electricity to meet the need. On a calm day like today, the school needs electricity from conventional sources. Although the turbine meets the overall electricity demand of the school, much of the output is generated out of school hours, and so it's exported to the grid. Power generation and use can be explored by pupils on this interactive display. The pupils of Cassop School know all about energy. They get a chance to have hands-on experience of the technologies the school uses to generate power. Of course, the roof has a solar panel array.
The sun shines from the south onto the solar panels, which make the electricity go on all these wires, which brings it to the school.
Pretty much every day we make a little bit at least.
The roof is also the best place to learn the principles of wind power. Handheld anemometers tell pupils what the wind speed is. Back inside, and there's an element of competition.
We've got a little experiment called the Turbine Challenge. We've got 2 wind tunnels and we've got some aluminium discs. You can take off as many of the aluminium blades to see what rotates the best.
This is a challenge that's also set to visiting schools to see which design of turbine can generate the most electricity. The school doesn't just produce power, it produces pupils who understand how the school is making a difference.
We're not producing as much carbon dioxide as if we're using coal, because all we're doing is putting the carbon dioxide that was in the tree to start with back into the air.
The whole basic thing is to stop global warming. Some people don't care at all about it and thinking that, well, I'd like a spot of hot weather.
These villages would be one of the first villages in this area to have electricity, because the electricity used to be produced at the colliery long before there was a national grid. So we've gone from being, energy producers, 200 years ago, to being energy producers now, and it's nice to look ahead rather than to look back.